Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. I am on my free-to-play, the Road to Ultra Nightmare, or Hydra, or whatever it is we call it. I got my cup here for some coffee today, and I figured I'd go over my spider team once again, because now we're at stage 20, and I think I've got it about as good as I can possibly get it right now, with my gear, with my champions, which admittedly, it's free-to-play. Kind of limited what I have available to me, but I think it's a pretty solid team. Now, let's remember a couple things here. Free to play. Don't have any HP burn on my account. I don't have any max HP dealers on my account. So this is kind of like the roughest approach to taking down Spider. And you guys saw my video on stage 19. That's even harder. Stage 20, definitely easier because I get to bring in other champions to my team. And that makes a huge, huge difference, right? If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss the next one. But I'm able to bring in a bunch of other champions. I'm able to bring in Deacon, Elva, Rhonda, Venomage, help make this team even more effective than it was on the earlier stages. Also, Affinity helps here. My Deliana still in retaliation gear, now with the crit damage gloves on, hitting decently hard, putting out a lot of leech, is the weak Affinity. So she's going to get targeted by the spiderlings, which allows a lot more for counterattacks to go out. I don't need her to crit all the time. I don't need her to do crazy damage because there's such an AoE approach with her. And we're just relying on those War Master procs. None of that is really affected by Affinity. So we're going to be able to heal up considerably and get out, hopefully, more damage. Now, the approach I'm using is going to be with this team right here. Now, I did have to make some changes, right? I recognize that having my Deliana in the lead was not a good approach. She's getting veiled too often by Elva. I have Elva actually in the lead. So when everybody's full HP, she's going to veil herself. When Elva's not in the lead, it's going to go to whoever's lowest HP, or whenever, you know, she's not taking it, whoever's lowest HP. So that might be Deliana sometimes. That might actually end up being Deacon occasionally, or one of the other champions. But Deliana is relatively tough, so when the Spider Queen goes, she's not taking the most damage. And when she does get counterattacked, she heals up full, so she's not getting veiled that often, and it is only one turn, thankfully. We're also going fast enough where she can actually outrun that buff most of the time. So that's kind of one of the things that's been working really nicely with this. Obviously, it's not a fast build, right? I mean, we do have AoE damage from Rhonda, we have it from Venomage, we have it from Deliana, even from Deacon actually with the decreased defense ability. So we're not completely useless on that front, but it's definitely not like the best, you know, the fastest approach for things. But again, it's my free to play, so we're going to deal with what we can. Now, my Rhonda hasn't changed. She's still a big time damage dealing champion, right? For me anyway. My Elva hasn't changed. She's still in her clan boss build. My Deliana, I do have the crit damage gloves on, so if we want to look at her total stats, you can see 142 crit damage, not too bad, not crazy, but not bad. I actually think at this point getting crit damage amulet on her would be advantageous, but again, I'm preferring the counterattack approach with her rather than just the raw damage. And we don't have really good, you know, crit damage amulets available for us. When I get a good 6-star one with some resistance, some accuracy, that's going to be really nice. You can see resistance is pretty solid at this point at 335. That's more than enough to resist the poisons from the spiderlings. I'm still going to try and improve that mostly for Hydra, but right now that's a pretty good spot to be at. I'm actually very comfortable with that. Defense is a little bit on the lower side. HP is pretty solid, but all those numbers can definitely bump up as we go along. Venomage hasn't changed from my, you know, clan boss build here. Not really a damage dealer, but does have an AoE attack and a lot of poisons, which helps with the boss itself. And Deacon hasn't changed. Still kind of a trash build, to be honest. More than enough accuracy, but I still have attack percentage gloves on. I definitely want to get rid of those at some point. But right now, this is more of an arena style build, and I'm happy with it. It's working for me. So this is the team, and it runs decently well. Not fast, maybe like a 4-minute run, but it's effective, and that's the key. I'd much rather have a 4-minute run on stage 20, especially with spiders, than any other. I don't care how fast it is on one of the lower stages. It doesn't matter. Right now, for my account, the most important thing is getting quality gear. That's really what I need. And so this is the kind of team that we're going to be using. In fact, oh shoot, you know what? hold on. I'm gonna set this up the way it really should be run. And part of that is, you know, there's an adjustment I wanted to make with Rhonda. She's going fast enough where she's going to get another attack in here. And I do want to prioritize this AoE ability of hers, but we're going to actually open with the phase rush down. And the reason why is I really want to get that brimstone on the boss. And if we don't get the ally attack proc like we did, you know, just a second ago, but in the actual run, that means when the AoE happens, that brimstone can go on one of the spiderlings. I don't want that. I want it on the boss only, right? So here we go. We're going to jump right in. And we get the speed buff, the block debuff from Elva, which is really good for us. Definitely a nice champion. And she provides tons of healing for us, which I think is actually really important considering the length of this run. But there you go. Like, okay, we didn't get the brimstone out. That's fine. It doesn't always work perfectly, but you can see we're getting that counterattack like we wanted. We did get the brimstone. We got lucky, got it on the queen. But look at the spiderlings. Look how low HP they are. That's what we're really aiming for here. We want to try and destroy them so the boss can't heal up. Now, obviously, this first turn, it's not really going to matter. We're taking too many turns. We're actually going kind of too fast. And so the boss is going to heal up fully. There's really nothing I can do about it. So it's basically a minute of this run is just basically useless. And that's okay. You know, this is a long-term, or more of a long-term play that we're going for here. And so now at this point, right, we're getting that leech out. We have it on the AoE. So every time we do an AoE attack, whether it's Venomage, Rhonda, or Deliana, even Deacon, it's actually significant, we're going to pretty much heal up to full, which is what we're looking for here. And then the rest of the time, we're just trying to deal as much damage as we can. Now, Venomage is actually pretty solid. We get some poisons out there, which is good. Whether we activate them or not doesn't matter so much, just more damage. But more importantly, he's going to have that decreased defense and that decreased attack buff consistently on the Spider Queen. And that's really what I want from that spot. And you can see here, when we get those counterattacks, it's really effective. We're keeping the spiderlings low, damaging them a lot. Hopefully that limits the healing of the Spider Queen, and it makes for a pretty solid team. Now, this is not an approach I'd ever recommend for dealing with spiders, right? This is more of like, I don't have other options approach. Because if you can utilize things like HP burn, this is going to be way more effective. Let's say I don't have Venomage in this team. Instead, I bring in AoE HP burner, like a Mordecai, for example. I could probably have the time of this run, right? I mean, just so much faster, because every time the spiderlings go, there's a little tick that goes up, and all of a sudden, you know, the boss is at half health in a minute. And this total run would be about 2 minutes long. As it is, you can see, we're going pretty good here, right? We're getting a considerable amount of damage out. You know, and the more we can beat down those spiderlings before the healing happens, the more effective it's going to be even. And so hopefully, you know, there we go. We limited the Spider Queen to healing maybe half of her health. And now it's just about a race. Can we kill this boss before she takes another, not before she takes another turn, but before she takes another healing turn? And if we can do that, this is going to be really, really successful for us. But that's going to be the trick, right? So if I had an HP burn champion, I wouldn't use Deliana at all, probably. I would probably just replace that spot with my HP burn healer. And I think we would get some really, really good results. But as it is, I don't have that option. So we're going to be opting for this. And as you can see, we're doing pretty good. Look, we've knocked that boss down. This is actually probably going to be a record speed run for me. Now that I look at it, this is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. Just need a couple more War Master procs and we should be in good shape. Now, RNG is always going to play a factor when it comes to Deliana, when it comes to Rhonda, and that's definitely going to affect the speed of the run. But I mean, look at this. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. We're going to get this. It looks like under 4 minutes here. Pretty good time. Even if we don't do any more damage to the boss, those poisons are going to do it from Venomage. And there it goes. 3 minutes, 45 seconds. New best time for me. Under 4 minutes. That's a pretty solid run for me right now. Considering where we are in the free-to-play, under 100 days in, you know, I'm very, very happy with that. And the best part is I can farm this now. It's steady. It's consistent. Even if the run goes a little bit long, because I have Elva there for revive, plenty of healing. I'm not worried about this run being 100% successful. It will be. The only factor, the only RNG is how fast of a run this is. And so that's really the only That's the only thing that's gonna alter here is the speed of this run. But this is I mean, that's pretty good. For me, this is definitely a huge win for my account. Being able to get 6-star and 5-star gear from my accessories is huge. When you're talking crit damage amulet, all I'm trying to do is damage. 6-star to 5-star, that's a huge difference, right? When I'm talking about my banners, accuracy banner, resistance banner, going from 5-star to 6-star is huge. So I love this. I think it's a huge advantage, not to mention that I now have access to a much better silver mine than anything else, because Spider is the #1 silver mine in this game. So this is going to be really, really strong for me. You know, my next thing is actually seeing, can we push to stage 25? Is that something that we could do? I'm not anticipating being able to do that right away. Don't get me wrong. It's not a rush for me. Honestly, I don't need to go past stage 20, right? Because I'm going to be farming Spider for a very, very long time. Silver here is a really good resource. I'm not in a super rush to get higher up, but if I can get an AoE HP burn champion, that's when I'm going to start looking to push up to the next stages, stage 24, stage 25, and see maybe we can get to a higher stage, a better result. And that would be really, really nice for us if we could, but I'm in no rush to do that. There's no need to push that fast, that hard. Right now, this is going to be an amazing, I mean, for me, this is an amazing result, and I'm really, really happy with it. It means we're doing stage 20 at least for all the dungeons now. And that's a huge milestone for my account. I mean, like, that's an absolutely massive milestone for a free-to-play account. So now I can get all 5- and 6-star gear. And this is like when you guys are running your teams, this is 100% the milestone you want to hit. It's going to be a massive boost for your account to be able to do that. So I cannot recommend it high enough. Get to that 5-star, get to that 6-star level as soon as you can. That's 100% what you want to be doing. And so I'm feeling very happy that we're here now. And I feel like the sky's the limit for this account now. So, you know, at this point, it's just about it's about getting better champions, getting better gear for sure. But I actually need some better champions, right? If I want to push Hydra even higher, if I want to push Arena, especially 3v3 faction wars, it's going to be about getting some champions. So this is great, you know, and I definitely want to keep improving my clan boss team. And Lash. One day I'll get that. But yeah, we're in a really good spot. So anyway, guys, that's the video for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow with more updates. So till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.